Once entered in a residential area, there was an increasing number of wandering zombies. Attracting them through sound would not work, since the environment is too complex and it would easily endanger himself. The only way is to pick a route with fewer zombies and go as quietly as possible. An average person would face enormous difficulty trying to move in this kind of environment. Luckily, Ling Mo had a zombie puppet. With cooperation of the puppet, Ling Mo continuously killed a dozen zombies and got through. He now arrived on a street that was once prosperous. This place is like the transition zone between suburbs and city. In Ling Mo's prediction, Ye Lian was at one of the corner when she made the phone call. Abandoned cars were everywhere. Shops were all open along the way, but they were all pitch black. Other than the blood stains everywhere, the only things left were the zombies. Even though Ling Mo killed numerous zombies these days, but it was his first time to see such large number of zombies gathered in one place. Looking through, there are at least dozens in his vision, let alone those hidden in the dark. Ling Mo intended to observe at a higher place. Just as he was walking towards a residential building, there came a scream not far from here. "Helpa!" I did not expect that there are still survivors. Ling Mo quickly controlled the zombie puppet and carefully moving toward the sound direction. Outside a residential building, there gathered about a dozen zombies. They are frantically hitting the security door. Behind the door are two frightened teenagers. On one hand, they were trying to hold the door tightly, and on the other hand, they were desperately screaming for help. "Idiots!" Ling Mo frowned, nervously looked around him. Screaming like this would only lead to more zombies. Originally, Ling Mo wanted to lend them a hand in the best of his ability, but now it seems hastily shot would only harm himself. Soon enough, some zombies were attracted. They continuously hit the security door, issued a bang-bang sound, and the connection walls began to come to loose. The two young men looked ashen, let go of much more piercing screams of fear. Dung! With a bam, security doors finally got knocked down, and the two young men's screams quickly drowned in the waves of zombies. However, this was an opportunity for Ling Mo, taking advantage of how all zombies got attracted to over there, so he could cross this district. After successfully passing through this dense population of zombies area, Ling Mo did not have time to cheer before he realized that the intersection before him were blocked by one bus and a few cars. During disaster outbreak, there were enough vehicle accidents, not to mention this kind of bus full of passengers. Whether or not the passengers mutated or frightened by the situation, terrible things could happen. Looking at the situation, the bus collapsed with the death-defying fleeing cars and incurred a chain of collision in which its entire shape were deformed. He just have no idea what happened to the passengers inside, perhaps trapped and died, or probably all turned into zombies. Ling Mo wanted to go around, but he suddenly thought of something after staring at the bus. Ye Lian seemed to have always taken the bus whenever she comes. As soon as the thought came out, Ling Mo sees the bus differently. He felt a sudden strong beating of his heart. Both looked forward to, but also with some fear. There are great possibilities that Ye Lian was on this bus. If she did not get out in time, she should still be on there. Although he felt well prepared, but Ling Mo still a little panicking when it's time to really face it. Should it be decomposed body, or left with nothing, or... After letting out a long breath, Ling Mo controlled the zombie puppet and climbed on the deformed bus head. The feeling is wonderful when it comes to controlling the zombie puppet. It was like having his own shadow clone. Through the spiritual connection between the puppet, not only could he control the movements, but also receive feedback from the puppet's facial expressions. But in between Ling Mo and the zombie puppet, he could feel that there was still a layer or barrier which enabled him to fully control the puppet. From Ling Mo's perspective, the ultimate state of mastering the control of zombie puppets would be like fusing with the puppet. Although it feels weird, Ling Mo is still looking forward to that kind of state. Chapter 13: Encounter with Childhood Sweetheart. Through the zombie puppet's vision, Ling Mo glimpsed the inside of vehicle. Dark inside, there were many obscure figures, and all were at rest. After bypassing the front, you could see the front and rear doors cannot be opened because of impact extrusion. Quite a few windows were cracked, but not enough to allow one to climb out. Ling Mo controlled the puppet, broke one of the windows, and climbed in. The smell was very strong in the car. Although he felt it through the zombie puppet, Ling Mo couldn't help but frown. The scent of blood and rotting mixed together make people feel nauseated. As soon as the puppet jumped into the car, he stepped on a dead body. After glance down, Ling Mo is immediately startled, even though the corpse became rotten. But on its swollen face, a pair of red eyes are clearly visible. It's obvious before he died, he became a zombie. No one escaped, and no one entered. Did the zombies die of starvation? Ling Mo quickly controls the puppet to continue walk toward the end of the bus. But he soon realized that something was wrong. The compartment is full of large blood stains and clothing fragments. Apparently someone started a slaughter after mutation. But the ones lie here are all mutated zombies. And Ling Mo noticed that the back of their heads were cut open. Who did it? Ling Mo felt a sudden horror. And while he was dumbfounded, a shadow suddenly jumped out from one of the seat, as nimble as a cheetah, jumped onto the back of his zombie puppet. The shadow moved silently and was extremely agile, although it had little power. But by the time when Ling Mo felt it, this shadow has already poked his hand to puppet's back head. Stunned, Ling Mo instinctively controlled the puppet to fall back, forcefully bringing the shadow on the ground. But at the same time, zombie puppet's brain has been scratched, blood instantly gushing out. Holy crap! This hand is like a knife. It was tough to groom this young zombie puppet. Ling Mo felt distressed, but also became extremely wary of the shadow. He used elbow to clutch the shadow's neck while controlling the puppet, and used the other hand clutch his wrist, while leveraging to climb up. However, as soon as he rose, the shadow used his other hand to poke into puppet's soft abdomen. Although the zombie puppet feels no pain, but Ling Mo's face still became extremely complex. To be exact, at the moment when the shadow was preparing to strike, Ling Mo, who already prepared to fight back, instantly stopped when he saw the shadow's appearance. Ye Lin. Lying below, the shadow whose one hand poked into the belly of the puppet is the one whom he's trying to find, Ye Lian. Ling Mo has made many assumptions, but never expected to find Ye Lian in this situation. After mutation, Ye Lian's beautiful big eyes turned bloody red, but her looks are not twisted like normal zombies, but very normal, very cool. For a moment, Ling Mo hesitated, but when Ye Lian took out her hand full with puppet's cut, Ling Mo was suddenly awake. Ye Lian's small hands looked no different than before, but the nail hardness was unusual. The fingers were powerful enough to pierce the flesh. This clearly showcased her difference with normal zombies. And normal zombies would not attack a fellow zombie puppet. Think back to the car full of zombie corpses. Look at Ye Lian again. Ling Mo suddenly understood something. After normal people were eaten, driven by hunger, the remaining zombies became cannibals. And the last zombie survivor, Ye Lian, developed some bizarre mutation. While Ling Mo was dumbfounded, his zombie puppet's intestines had been pulled out, blood pouring out, splashing on her body. Stimulated by the smell of the fresh blood, her eyes seemed to get bloodier, and her strength seemed to increase as well. She grabbed the puppet's arm and flipped him to one side. As soon as the zombie puppet landed on the ground, Ye Lian rushed up and placed her hands directly on the puppet's neck. Her movement is much more flexible than the average zombies. Ling Mo could not even react and was countered by Ye Lian. With the feeling of suffocation, zombie puppet's natural instinct was activated, and Ling Mo felt waves of emptiness in his head. When this feeling emerges, it means that the puppet is about to get out of his control. And Ling Mo finally recovered from the shock after reuniting with Ye Lian. Ye Lian turned into this. To some extent, it is also my own responsibility. When trying his best to control his zombie puppet, Ling Mo suddenly had a bold idea. Since zombies are just humans infected by the virus, and judging by Ye Lian's look, her virus probably mutated or something. In that case, there might be a way to cure her. Even if this hope was very slim, but as long as there is a chance, Ling Mo wanted to give it a try. As soon as the idea came up, Ling Mo immediately controlled the puppet to tightly stare into Ye Lian's eyes. With the concentration of Ling Mo's spirits in his eyes, Ye Lian's had soon turned into a ball of light. However, the color of this light bulb is different than the average zombies. Infected by virus, zombies lost their mind, acting purely on instincts. Therefore, the spiritual light that represents their inner mind are really fuzzy. But Ye Lian's spiritual light was obviously much brighter and has faint traces of red. What is that all about? But the current situation does not allow Ling Mo to think more. He tried to focus his attention on the light of Ye Lian and tries to go deeper. And indeed, it was different than normal zombies. Ling Mo felt resistance here where he did not felt in other zombies. Although weak, Ling Mo feel his heartbeat suddenly stopped a bit. Is it possible that Ye Lian regained some conscious? But judging by her look, seems not quite. When Ling Mo finally managed to control Ye Lian, his body was already covered in cold sweats, and zombie puppet was completely choked to death during the process. But when Ling Mo was carefully controlling Ye Lian to stand up, he suddenly felt a longing. This desire comes from Ye Lian's spiritual world, and the target is the puppet's brain. During his prior experience with puppets, Ling Mo never felt any emotion from them, because besides their instincts, the zombie puppets had no other desire. But at this time, he felt from something from Ye Lian. This makes Ling Mo confused and surprised. If mutation can produce desire, then if it continues, maybe she can regain her emotions. Thinking of this, Ling Mo used Ye Lian to poke through the head of zombie puppet. Under the guidance of this desire, Ye Lian quickly pulled out a small piece of gel-like object from the head. It is like a part of the brain tissue after infection, a little red, like an elastic rubber when held in hand. After Ling Mo tossed and turned the object for a while, endure nausea, he pushed it into Ye Lian's mouth. A heat wave immediately raised from the stomach, quickly circulated through the whole body, and Ye Lian's once weak body seemed to have received some physical supplement. Never thought this disgusting gel could have this effect. Perhaps Ye Lian's mutation is caused by eating this gel. Manipulating Ye Lian to jump out of the car and walked into his hiding place, Ling Mo finally see Ye Lian face to face. Watching Ye Lian's blood-stained body, pale cheek, and that pair of red, almost airy eyes, Ling Mo was moved by a mixture of feelings. Even though Ye Lian now gives the impression of danger, as if there was a chilly atmosphere forming beside her body, but her familiar face still left Ling Mo a little dazed. He could not help but stretched out his hand, wiped Ye Lian's bloodstains from her face. Don't worry, Big Brother will for sure to find a way for you to recover.